Hello and a warm welcome to Sarat Chandra IAS Academy, where your dreams are our mission. This is Yatharth here. Today we'll be continuing the last lecture. So we'll be covering more news from the newspaper. Okay, what we need to focus here upon are two things. That first of all, there will be some portion of this lecture which I will not be dictating. That is exclusively for the notes making. Such as there will be some news from which I will only cover the important portions so that we can go across very quickly without wasting time. So this is the first news. Manipur needs a platform for Samvad. So I have highlighted here. This answer is important for the internal security and terrorism and also for essay writing. So some things are important here. Rest you can add into notes up as per yourself. So the unique feature of India's intellectual tradition is that the point of view of the opponent, that is Purva Paksha, must be taken seriously. So these are some terms that you can use in the exam. This news rest tells about the Manipur violence. I hope you are already introduced to this. It has been going on since 5 months. Alright, this editorial focuses upon the way forward, which is the Samvad dialogue between all the parties and the government in order to solve this problem. The notes I have included in here between what is happening between the Kukis, Zoomies, Metis, etc. reservation issue all. Alright, so we can just skip it from the lecture and you can just read this in the news. Alright, next news which I want to come to is ISRO to hold more tests for Gaganyaan in coming months. In this news also, two things are important. One is what is Gaganyaan project, how it is different from the Chandrayaan project, and what is ISRO. So this is the static portion which is important, and we'll see what rockets etc. are going to be used for this Gaganyaan mission. So Gagan means sky, first of all, sky or space. So we are trying to go to the space within a manned flight. Alright, so let's see this. So after the successful test vehicle mission on October 21, the ISRO has lined up more test mission in months again for the Gaganyaan program. So you can read this news from the notes. Of course, as you know that I upload all these to the Telegram channel, which is Sarat Chandra IAS Academy. So you can access all these notes from there. I'll upload them. Okay, so you can skip this here. Let's just focus on what is the Gaganyaan mission. So India's first manned flight to space. So we'll not be landing anywhere in this mission. We'll be flying essentially into a low Earth orbit, taking an orbit around the Earth and then coming back to the same place. So the project was first approved in 2018 by PM Narendra Modi, and it will be one of the cheapest manned space flights in the world, with an estimated cost of not more than 10,000 crore. Okay, so this we have done previously in the MOM mission also. Alright, India plans to call its astronauts Vyomnauts, since Vyom in Sanskrit means space. So this is not a very important detail, but you can note down. This is important that ISRO hopes to deploy its biggest rocket GSLV Mark III for this project. Alright, so it has not been launched yet. Initially it was supposed to be launched around 2020 or 21. Okay, so India will become the fourth country after Russia, US and China to send humans to space. This is the map of the flight, you can see from here. So we'll launch this from Sriharikota. Alright, and then we'll take a low Earth orbit and splashdown will be near Gujarat in the Arabian Sea. So astronauts or Vyomnauts will be spending around 5 to 7 days in space above the Earth's atmosphere, which is depicted by this line. Alright, let's focus on the Gaganyaan mission. Essentially, what is it? So Gaganyaan projects envisages a demonstration of human space flight capabilities by launching crew of 3 members to an orbit of 400 km for a 3 days mission, or 5 to 7 days mission. This is a low Earth orbit mission, LEO. The prerequisites for Gaganyaan mission include development of many critical technologies, etc., that will eventually be used when we send our complete mission to the space or landing on moon. Various precursor missions are planned for demonstrating the technology, etc. Okay, let's talk about the ISRO. So it's the Space Agency of India, our national space agency. The organization is involved in science, engineering and technology. Earlier it was established as the INSCOPAR and later on undertook by DOS, Government of India. So ISRO was previously the Indian National Committee for Space Research INSCOPAR, set up by Government of India in 1962. As envisioned via the Dr. Vikram A. Sarabhai's, a rocket of this name, Vikram rocket, was also recently launched by a private company. ISRO was formed on August 15, 1969. So take care of this date, 1969. This can be asked. Alright, superseded in scope with an expanded role to harness space technology. DOS was set up and ISRO was brought under DOS in 1972. Its headquarters are in Bengaluru. Furthermore, let us quickly see the mapping of Gulf of Guinea, because a maritime exercise between the EU and India has taken place in the Gulf of Guinea. A joint naval exercise has taken place. Alright, so let us see about this. The Indian naval ship which participated in this exercise is INS Sumedha. This is, of course, in cooperation with the Guinean, let's say, officers. Alright. So this is Africa. This is the western part of Africa. And this is the Gulf of Guinea. This you can see is Equatorial Guinea here, near the Gabon, Cameroon, Nigeria, Niger Delta, Benin, etc. So this Gulf of Guinea has maritime issues. Maritime issues such as, let's say, sea pirates, which are engaged in robbery and criminal activities. So this is why it becomes very important for countries to participate in maritime security operations here. So EU and India has the naval exercise here. It is also very important for us to reduce the dominance of China in this region. Alright, so let us see furthermore. This is Africa, as you can see. Just a second. So here you can see various countries such as Nigeria, Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon. Question came from here in 2023 prelims. The Democratic Republic of Congo. In fact, two questions came, one about the cobalt mining. Alright, and second about which is not included in the Congo Basin. So two questions came from here. Question can come from here also. So please remember all these countries which are surrounding the Equatorial Guinea. Alright, we must always focus on the mapping portion whenever we are seeing anything. Okay, so you can take note of all these countries: Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon, etc., etc. Moving further, so the exercise include such and such. It's not necessary for us to read. Just include this in notes. Alright, following the successful joint naval exercise, a knowledge sharing session happened in the Arak Ghana, and it shared the expertise of all the warfare details, etc. What's important here is commitment to the maritime security. Alright, so India, these collaborative activities underscore the mutual commitment of India and the EU to assist coastal states and uphold maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea. They highlighted the extensive and dynamic nature of EU-India cooperation in the realm of maritime security. Okay, and UNCLOS is again very, very important. So this you must see. It is also known as the Treaty of Seas. Okay. So it's the first time this exercise has taken place. Furthermore, let us see a few things about the European Union. It was founded on 1st of November 1993, where in the Maastricht, Netherlands. European Union founders are primarily Germany, France, Italy, Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. Departments and exclusive agency of Commission are based in Brussels and Luxembourg. The headquarters of this organization is in Brussels. All right. Okay. Furthermore, let us see. It's the. I hope you remember Brussels is the capital of Belgium. You can see Belgium here in this map. This is Germany, Czechia, Austria. All right, Switzerland, France. So these countries primarily consider the EU. Okay, let's move further. So 8 former Navy officers get death penalty in Qatar. What's important for us is mapping again. All right, so you can this directly you can see in the note section. Doha is the capital of Qatar, and 8 former Navy officers have been, let's say, awarded death penalty there on the case of spying. So what we need to see here is that why they were, let's say, this is a case history which I have included in the notes. You don't exclusively need to read here. What we need to see is India-Qatar relations. And India is dependent upon the LNG, that is liquid natural gas from the Qatar. Okay, so why we are not, let's say, able to establish such high rapport on the international markets? This I will deal with later once we finish the lecture. So high stakes relationship, former Indian ambassador to Qatar, Deepa Gopalan, highlighted the important role that large number of Indian migrants play in fostering India-Qatar relations. So there is a large number of migrants. Okay, this is also important, and the LNG thing is also important. Okay, So according to the MEA, Qatar is the largest supplier of LNG to India, which accounts for over 48% of India's global LNG imports. India also imports ethylene, propylene, ammonia, urea, and polyethylene from Qatar. So these are all chemical products, ethylene, propylene, etc. Okay, ammonia, urea, both are used in fertilizers. And polyethylene is a basic polythene. Okay, let's see new news, which is about the renewed risk to Indian economy because of the global turmoils. So in domestic issues, we can see the uneven monsoon, which has drastically affected some crops from India. However, in the global view, we are still having the Russia-Ukraine crisis, some effect from the COVID is still. All right, there is a crisis in the Israel-Palestine, etc. So this all can be kept in focus. Here you can see the forecast for India, the GDP forecast for India, which is reducing from 6.8 to 6.1%. All right, and for India, the forecast has been reduced by various different agencies. So on October 6th, the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, stuck to its 6.5% GDP growth projection for the year. With risk from geopolitical tensions, economic fragmentation, volatile financial markets, and uneven monsoon. This is very important, uneven monsoon. Evenly balanced out by strengthening domestic demand. All right, so GDP growth needs a certain demand as well as the supply of goods. So what is the contributing factor here is the demand, but the restricting factor is the supply. There's not low demand, which was there in the COVID. So there was a belief that a period of heightened uncertainties was having, but as the central bank governor signaled last Friday, the uncertainties have emerged over the fortnight since, especially the Israel-Hamas conflict that erupted a day after the monetary policy review has widened. And Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has flagged worries about implications on global food, fuel, and fertilizer supplies. So already we are seeing the fertilizer supply because of the Indian-Qatar relations. Recently, India had soiled some relations with Canada also. All right, and now it's trying to maintain relation with both hands, with Palestine also and with Israel also. So it's a confusing situation for India. India is also, on the other hand, seeing the developments between China and Bhutan on its boundary talks. So given India's dependence on fuel and fertilizer imports, we could see for LNG and urea and ammonia for Qatar. Disruptions or price spikes could hurt the macroeconomic framework, even if the government refrains from passing on higher prices to consumers and farmers in the election season. Okay. So this is one philosophy. The RBI chief also pointed to rising US bond yields. This bond yields is always and always asked in the prelims. There's some question that will be related to bonds of some kind or the inflation of some kind in prelims. So please read both these topics very carefully. Which it is 16-year high of 5% this week. Mixed data points and signals from central banks around the world as the new unknowns, even as unknowns such as financial market turmoil, has got more profound. There's no certainty that the RBI would still uphold its evenly balanced outlook towards the risk to growth. However, the Finance Ministry, while acknowledging, basically we are talking about the RBI's monetary policy here. Okay. So recently in 2 lectures before, we talked about the financial policies and fiscal policies. Here we are talking about the monetary policy of the RBI. So will it change the repo rate or other rates depending upon this global turmoil? It is not clear yet, but this is yet to be seen. All right, let's move forward. So this week, foreign trade picture is expected to recover. Industrial job creation prospects are high for the next 2 quarters. Quarter means a period of 3 months. While still high demand for housing and vehicle loans reflect bolstered confidence levels in the household, it added. India's macro fundamentals may hold well up through the latest global storm, but the government would do well to drill a little deeper in the consumption and hiring trends. All right. Let's come to the next news. Very quickly. Farmers, they are burning the stubble basically. This news related to that. So Punjab farm fires down by 53%, but air quality likely to worsen in capital. So we need to see what is air quality. All right. And what is air quality index? This is a static topic here, which is important for UPSC. You can see here the Punjab region highly highlighted in this map actually, and which is showing the high temperatures, thermal anomalies due to the stubble burning in the Punjab. So this is the thermal anomalies you can see here. So the Punjab government reported a 53% decrease in the stubble burning incidents in the state from September 15 to October 15 compared to same period last year. This reduction is expected to alleviate air quality issues in the national capital. Alleviate means make better or lift. All right, in the national capital, that's Delhi. which typically experiences poor air quality during the winter due to meteorological factors and pollution from stubble burning in neighboring states. So basically Punjab is here and Delhi is here, all right, between Punjab and Haryana, let's say. So the air is coming from this side, and that's why it's burnt in Punjab and pollutes the Delhi. So this is a perpetual issue that Delhi goes through every year, but this year they are saying that there's a decrement in the pollution. So in September, the Punjab government had committed to reducing stubble burning by 50% this year, as urged by the Commission for Air Quality Management, that is CAQM, in the National Capital Region and adjoining areas. So Punjab generates 20 million tons of paddy straw, that is rice. And the government has adopted a comprehensive approach to tackle the issue, implementing initiatives for on-field and off-field paddy straw management, behavioral change, and monitoring the implementation of these initiatives. The CUET also confirmed Punjab's claims, noticing a decreasing trend in stubble burning over the past 3 years. Okay, so there are many things, many initiatives that have come. You can make a note about them, that which of the initiatives have these governments involved or adopted, which have reduced the stubble burning. The CUET spokesperson attributed 53% in the incident to collective efforts of all stakeholders. Okay, so meanwhile, Delhi Minister Gopal Rai announced the red light on Gadi off campaign. That means basically when there is a red light on the traffic signal, the ignition must be turned off. That's all. So this campaign will run at various locations in Delhi, etc. This is again, let's say, about the pollution. Let's come to what is NAQI. This is the important portion of the lecture to us. The NAQI, or National Air Quality Index, in India was launched by the Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Prakash Javadekar, on 2014. In 2014, the initiative constitutes part of government mission to introduce the culture of cleanliness, as the air pollution has been a huge concern in country, especially in urban areas. The NAMP, that is National Air Monitoring Program, covers 240 cities in the country, has been operated by the Central Pollution Control Board, that is CPCB. So please, whenever we are seeing about all these organizations, when you are making notes, always take care that in which year these were established and what sort of bodies are these, which act established these bodies. All right. So, and developed by the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. Okay, IIT Kanpur, providing data in public domain on real-time basis. Okay, here you can see various different pollutants which are responsible for polluting our environment and air. So AQI categories for breakpoint concentration with averaging times. This is microgram per meter cube. Alright, so this is units are very important. Sometimes the units of pollution is in ppm also, parts per million. Okay, so in the air it is microgram per meter cube, such as there is an area of 1 meter cube filled with air. So how many microgram of these pollutants can be there? So this is some categories: good, satisfactory, moderately polluted, and further on there are some categories. What is important for us is what are the type of pollutants that are included. So it is PM10, PM2.5, this is nitrogen dioxide, NO2, this is O3, ozone. Very important in the stratosphere, but very harmful in the troposphere. This is carbon monoxide. It dissolves with the blood and binds better than the oxygen, and it let's say otherwise asphyxiates you sometime. This is sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is often let's say produced when burning of coal is there. So in winters it becomes a problem. This is NH3, ammonia. Ammonia in air is a pollutant. Ammonia is produced when various different chemical reactions take place. So in industrial areas you can let's say smell something really sharp and bad, that is ammonia. And this is a PB, which is lead. So lead is produced on some chemical reaction. It comes into air. It's also found in petrol. Alright, so there are various concentrations for it. They should be minimized. The good, satisfactory, moderately polluted, extremely polluted, etc., etc. So they should be minimal here. 0 to 50 microgram per meter cube, 30 microgram per meter cube, 40, 50. Alright, in such view. So which is the let's say most harmful of them all, which this is lead, because we wanted the minimal. Even a minuscule quantity of it is considered moderately polluted. Alright, so this is important. So this is where we finish the lecture for today. I'll post these notes very quickly on the Telegram channel as well. From there you can download them, add the important portion to your notes, digital notes or otherwise. These PDF, the data in the PDF can be copy pasted right to your digital notes wherever you are making them. Alright, so this is Yatharth here. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Have a very good day. Study well. Be bright.